Hey there, and welcome back to another reverb mixing tutorial from Liquid Sonics. I'm Julian David, and today we're diving into the world of creating signature gated reverb sounds using Cinematic Room's Professional and Lustrous Plates. The dynamic sections in these plugins stand out because they allow us to trigger the gate based on the input signal, enabling us to affect only the reverb tail. This opens up new possibilities for precision and creativity in your mixes. Most built-in gates in other reverb plugins can only be triggered by the wet output of the reverb, which is much less flexible and can be finicky to set up. In case you've used Cinematic Room's Professional or Lustrous Plates before, make sure to update to the latest version to ensure you can follow along and benefit from the newest improvements. Now let's jump right in. I have two audio examples lined up for you today to showcase this technique. The first is a classic 80s era drum loop, and the second is a more complex Conga percussion loop as part of a contemporary beat. We'll start with the 80s drum loop to create that iconic gated reverb sound. Here's my drum loop without any reverb. Now let's load up an instance of Cinematic Room's Professional and dial in a gated reverb patch. What sets this plugin apart is the ability to choose the sidechain trigger for the built-in ducker and gate. In addition to the target signal trigger, which can either be the wet or late reverb output of the plugin, we can choose to trigger using the input signal or an external sidechain signal. With the input trigger, we can precisely control the gate's behavior independent from our other reverb settings. Notice how the gate opens and closes in response to the dry drum hits, creating that characteristic 80s sound. Let's take a moment to fine-tune our settings. We can adjust the hold, close, and open parameters to tailor the gated reverb effect to our liking and the song's tempo. For the 80s sound, a quick attack, medium hold time, and a fast close time work wonders. Just use your ears and listen to the groove. As you can hear, using the input signal as the sidechain trigger gives us incredible precision. The gate doesn't rely on the reverb decay time, allowing us to achieve that distinctive effect with a big and full shot of reverb that is completely controlled. If I switch the sidechain to the target signal, you'll see how much more difficult it is to get a precise and consistent gate behavior. I'll recall my final settings and play you the drum loop with and without the gated reverb effect. Check out how this technique adds character and punch to the sound, all while maintaining clarity in the mix. Now for my second audio example, I have a more complex Conga percussion loop. This time I'll use Liquid Sonics' Lustrous Plates reverb plugin to add movement and depth to the part. Lustrous Plates also offers the input trigger sidechain capability. It's particularly useful here because we can cycle through the different plates, each with its unique sonic character, while keeping the gate parameters untouched. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and set up our gate first. things to note. 1. You may have noticed that there's a little bit of room ambience contained in the original sample. Since we're adding Lustrous Plates on top of that, you'll always have the initial ambience from that sample, no matter how we set up our gate. Secondly, I decided to not close the gate completely using the range control in the plugin. That way I have some of that lovely plate sound coming through at all times. Listen to how the gated reverb enhances the conga part, adding rhythmic movement and a sense of space. The gate's responsiveness to the input signal makes it easy to experiment and find the perfect reverb character for your mix. Cycling through the different plate models gives you very different sonic textures at the click of a button. Moving one step further, we can even lock all the gate parameters and then quickly audition different presets. That said, I like what I had before, so here's the isolated loop dry and with my final settings, as well as in the full mix. And there you have it, folks, a powerful and sophisticated reverb gate that opens up endless creative possibilities for your next mix. If you'd like to explore these plugins further and take your mixing to the next level, head over to liquidsonics.com to explore the full range of beautiful reverb plugins. Thank you for joining me today, and happy mixing!